Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Katie. Today I'm going to be doing a thrift flip video. I haven't done one of these in like a year probably, and it's one of my favorite types of videos to do. Truthfully, I have not gone thrifting recently, but I had a bunch of items in a closet that I thrifted a long time ago that need a little bit of a makeover. So I'm going to flip them into something a little more trendy, a little more my style. I love doing these DIYs because it's just a budget-friendly way to create some really cool pieces, and I have fun getting creative with it. So hopefully you guys like it too. The first items I pulled from my thrifted stash are some planter pots. I love the ridges on this one. The design is really cool. It's something I've seen on Pinterest and home decor stores as something that's really trendy right now. So I'm gonna give it a couple of coats of this matte white spray paint. And then I rolled out some oven bake clay. And effectively what I'm going to be doing is creating some little decorative handles for this pot. As you can see, it's already looking a lot better with the white paint. So I just used my clay knife to cut 2 equal pieces of clay. And then I rounded them into a C shape to make that handle shape. And I lined up the second one with the first one just to make sure they were roughly the same size and shape. Then I temporarily stuck them to the sides of the pot to kind of line them up, and the ridges really helped with this. And then I went ahead and baked them. Once they were baked and fully cool, then I went in with some E6000 glue and just glued them right to the sides. Of course, I needed to paint them, so I gave the pot and the handles another couple of coats of that white spray paint. Next up is a pot that I've used for a DIY in the past, but I want to redo it and make it into something else. So this time I'm using this terracotta spray paint, which I love the finish of. I used it in my last IKEA video. So I only painted it on the outside at first because we're gonna have to paint it again once the handles are attached. And this time I wanted to make 4 handles, 2 on each side. So I made them a little bit smaller. And then again, I just lined them up and made sure that they were the right size and shape. And I'm gonna stack 2, one on top of the other on each side. So once they were baked and cooled, again, I attached them using the E6000, gave this another few coats of spray paint, and I just love how easy it is to take some cheap pots, which you can find so many of at the thrift store every time, and transform them into something that looks like handmade pottery. I have a handful of these gold plastic charger trays that I've thrifted over the years, and so I wanted to turn one into something that's a little bit more my style. So I mixed together some gray acrylic paint and some baking soda, and I'm sure you've seen this technique like a million times by now, but basically it gives some really nice texture on the pieces that you're painting. So I just mixed that together, and I like to make mine pretty thick. I'll show you kind of how thick I like to make it, but you can experiment with this to make it something that suits your taste. So this is about how thick my paint usually is. And I like to go in with a very thin coat at first to get full coverage on whatever I'm painting. And then I go in the second coat and do a nice thick coat for that texture. So as you can see, after I painted the first coat on, there's still some gold peeking through. It's not fully covered. So once that dries, and it does dry pretty quickly, then I went in and really laid it on thick. So now you can see that nice texture that we're looking for coming through. So the technique I wanted to try is actually using ground pepper. You may have seen people do this with clay, but I decided to grind some pepper onto the paint while it was still wet. And then I took some Mod Podge and I coated the whole top of this using it. So it's going to seal those pepper flakes in so that they won't fall off, and it truly did. Like, they are not coming off at all once this was dried, and it dries clear, so that's great. So it gives this really nice stone looking effect without having to be actual stone. And this process was so easy, and you would never guess that it was just using pepper, even up close. The last thing I have is this wood crate. I always pick up crates and baskets or little boxes at the thrift store because they're usually like $1 or $2. And I'm going to use this flat black spray paint and give it a couple of coats. So you can already see it instantly looks better and more modern. So I have this lid from an IKEA storage box that I'm not really using for anything. So I decided to measure out the width and height of this little empty space here on the crate, and then I measured that out on the lid. So I'm going to cut out 4 pieces of this sort of cane material to fit into all the empty spaces on the crate. This was a little bit hard to cut through, but not too difficult. I was able to use my regular scissors. And then once I had all 4 pieces cut, I just went in with some hot glue and glued them to the inside of the crate to fill in that open space. I think this is such an easy way to instantly transform something and make it look more modern. And it took me just a few minutes to create this whole project. You can use something like this for storage. You can use it to display things. I'm going to actually put one of my little handmade pottery pieces in it, but I think it's just an easy way if you're looking for storage that's also attractive. And then your organization can also be cute, and who doesn't love that? Okay, you guys know the drill. As always, let me know in the comments down below which one of those projects was your favorite, and if you do try them out or recreate them in any way, make sure you tag me on Instagram so that I can see them. And if you don't want to miss any of my videos, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys really soon.